Hello, I'm Blake Seiler, and this is my presentation over blasting rock, primarily in heavy, highway, and civil construction. In this presentation, we're going to be going over types of controlled blasting, the main equipment used in those blasts, modern technology involved, safety, associated costs, and blasting rock locally here in Texas. What is blasting rock? This is the controlled use of explosives to break rock for construction purposes. Very common in heavy civil projects when building tunnels, roadways, dams, and foundations. But we see it throughout the entire construction industry when the project and earthwork call for it. Uses in the construction industry. Blasting rock is used to remove areas of earth or carve through areas of earth to build heavy civil projects or infrastructure. Site preparation for large infrastructure projects, or even quarrying to harvest for aggregates used throughout the project. Types of controlled blasting. Different blasting methods control rock breakage, minimize damage, and ensure efficient excavation. They're chosen based on rock type, vibration control, which is monitoring the blast vibrations to ensure surrounding structures and earthworks are left undamaged, safety, and the need for precise or smooth finishes. First, we have line drilling. Imagine you're trying to break a big rock into smaller pieces, but you want to control exactly where it breaks. Line drilling involves drilling a series of closely spaced holes along a line on the rock. The idea is to create a kind of crack in the rock along that line, making it easier to break the rock exactly where you want it to break. After drilling the holes, explosives are usually placed in the holes, and when they are detonated, the rock breaks along that line of holes, creating a controlled fracture. Next, we have pre-splitting. Pre-splitting is a method used to create a controlled, clean break in the rock before the main blast. It's like making a pre-cut or a controlled crack in the rock so that the main explosion doesn't cause the rock to break in unpredictable or damaging ways. How it works? A series of small charges are detonated along a line in the rock, like in line drilling, to create a controlled crack. This makes it easier to break the rock later without causing big vibrations or damage to nearby areas. Next, we have smooth blasting. This technique is used to make the final break in the rock as smooth and clean as possible, especially when the finished surface of the rock matters. The goal is to prevent jagged edges and make the rock surface smooth. Instead of using big, strong explosions, smooth blasting uses carefully timed and placed charges to control how the rock breaks. The idea is to have a more gradual, smoother break, reducing roughness and damage to the surrounding area. Last, we have cushion blasting. Cushion blasting is used to reduce vibrations and minimize damage when blasting near sensitive areas like buildings or roads. The idea is to cushion the shock from the blast so it doesn't spread too far. How does that work? After placing explosives in the drill holes, a layer of softer material, like sand or gravel, is put above the explosives before detonating. This cushion absorbs some of the blast's energy and helps control the force of the shock wave, making the blast gentler and reducing its impact on nearby structures. Main equipment used for blasting rock. We'll start with drilling equipment, where we use rotary drills and down the hole drills, along with others. Tunnel boring machines are used, which are rotary percussive drills. A percussion drill penetrates and cuts rock by impact while it rotates without cutting on the upstroke. Common types of percussion drills include a jackhammer, which is handheld, and others which are mounted on a fixed frame or in a wagon or crawl for mobility. Drilling equipment is used to create holes for blasts or large holes in general. Explosives involved with blasting rock. Our main explosive is dynamite, but we also use ammonium nitrate fuel oil when called for. To detonate these blasts, we have electric and non-electric caps that trigger the explosions. We also use digitally encoded radio systems to ignite the blasts. Safety equipment. A key part of the safety equipment is using blasting mats, which is a safety device used in blasting operations to control and contain the force of an explosion. It's typically a large heavy mat placed over the blast site after the explosive have been set but before they are detonated. We also use all forms of PPE. Modern technology used in blasting rock. Historically, blasts used manual initiation systems, but today we are able to remote blast using communication systems and digitally encoded radios. Laser rock profiling system. It 3D maps the rock faces to help determine rock face geometry, blast burdens, and safe blast hole placements, reducing risks like flying rock, air blasts, and vibrations. We use cut blasting, which uses 3D laser cuts to ensure precise fracturing of the rock. Safety in blasting rock. First, we have pre-blast safety, which involves inspecting the site, setting up safety zones, safety plans, and notifying everyone involved. Controlled blasting. Design blasts carefully to reduce vibration and flying debris. Monitoring the blast. Keep track of vibrations using mats and barricades to control the debris. PPE. Workers wear hard hats, goggles, hearing protection, flame resistant gear, and whatever else may be called for. Regulations. Follow OSHA guidelines and local rules like ours in Texas from TxDOT. Costs involved in blasting rock. The explosive costs are constantly fluctuating due to changes in the market, rising costs, and improvements in blasting technology. It's going to depend on the choice of explosives, whether you want to use ammonium nitrate fuel oil or dynamite. Depending on rock type, desired fragmentation, and moisture conditions, you will be able to make your decision on which type of explosive you would like to use. The more complex blasting technique used, the more expensive. Equipment costs. Machinery involved will be costly whether renting or owning. Equipment and machinery maintenance costs will be the biggest factor of equipment costs for your business. Labor costs. Increased labor costs for required skill labor and potential need for more safety crew members on site. Permits and environmental regulation costs. You'll need residential blast permits, blast monitoring permits, and other permits involved with the process. Costs will be associated with following SWIP and taking care of your dust and debris mitigation. Costs associated with reducing noise, air, and environmental pollution will be involved on heavy civil projects. Blasting rock here in Texas. Common uses for blasting rock in Texas. In Texas, we have three main types of construction that use blasting rock, which is dam construction, highway construction, and bridge foundations. Dam construction is extremely common here in Texas, especially on many of the central Texas river systems and coastal highways. Dam construction is extremely common here in Texas, especially on many of the central Texas river systems. Highway construction. Highways are constantly being built, updated, and maintained across Texas. Over 3,233 miles of the 45,000-mile interstate highway system reside here in Texas. Bridge foundations. Due to the large amount of rivers, coastal areas, and highways across Texas, bridges are crucial. Bridge foundations sometimes require rock blasting to ensure the foundation is properly placed and secured into the earth. Regulations here in Texas. When building, it's important you follow all federal regulations and local TxDOT regulations, which are clear guidelines for rock blasting and construction projects to keep things safe and protect the environment, including controlled blasting requirements, standard specs, safety measures, and environmental controls. Environmental concerns in Texas. Blasting near homes, conservation areas, and wildlife habitats are carefully controlled and monitored here in Texas. Summary and conclusions. Rock blasting is essential in construction, helping projects move through rough and rugged earth. Proper planning and safety measures are key to reducing risks and ensuring everything goes smoothly. Conclusions. Economic impact. Explosives are costly but essential for large construction projects. Safety. Strict regulations and training are crucial for safety. Conclusions. Explosives are costly but essential for large construction projects, and there are strict regulations and training for safety on the project. Blasting in Texas follows strict rules to ensure worker safety and protect the environment. With technology and AI advancement, drilling and blasting are becoming quieter and more efficient, and companies must adopt cleaner technologies and practices to meet stricter environmental standards. Test your knowledge. Why would it be necessary to have drilling equipment for blasting rock? Why is it so crucial to keep track of vibrations when monitoring the rock blast? Highway and bridge construction in Texas commonly use rock blasting during projects. What other common structures use rock blasting during construction in Texas? I'll give you a moment to answer these three questions. Here are the answers. The main reasons to have drilling equipment for blasting rock are to ensure precise placement of the explosives, controlled blasting, properly fragmenting the rock, and safety. Why is it so crucial to keep track of vibrations when monitoring the rock blast? To protect nearby structures and the earthwork of the project. What other type of common structural construct what other type of common structural construction uses rock blasting in Texas? Dam construction. Thank you so much for viewing my presentation. Have a great day. Giving us a safer work site.